Romo is a name that a lot of football fans know, and they're going to see him on Sundays once again. He's got a new team, CBS. He's going to be with Jim Nantz on the #1 team, covering, of course, the AFC as CBS does. And oh, by the way, somebody pointed out on Twitter that the Cowboys will be playing an AFC team on Thanksgiving. So they'll have Dallas and Tony Romo all together again on Thanksgiving. It'll be like the family reunion there for Jerry Jones. He'll be so thrilled. But yeah, as we told you yesterday about this time, Tony Romo was going to be released by the Dallas Cowboys and decided that he did not want to pursue football anymore, at least as a player, and was going to go into the broadcast booth. So a couple of things here. I'm a little surprised that CBS immediately placed him on the #1 team and bounced Phil Simms, the longtime analyst with Jim Nantz, on the #1 team. I wasn't expecting that. I thought if Tony was going to go in, he'd go in on one of the lower teams.
Right, and give him a little bit of experience before you put him on the #1 team. Although somebody else did point out that Phil Simms was hired with 0 broadcast experience, and that season, his rookie season calling games, he called the Super Bowl. So it doesn't take a lot of experience, apparently, in order to do the job. I don't know. You got to be a good analyst. You got to be able to have the right vision for the game. If that's something that Tony Romo can do well, and a lot of fans like him, I don't know. Maybe he is successful at this. I'm not going to hate on him for doing something that CBS believes that he can do well without even seeing him do it first. Problem is, we haven't really seen him do much of it. So we don't.
They're convinced. They're convinced. The CBS executives are convinced, who have interviewed him, who have met him. I guess obviously have been in maybe some of those rooms before the games where we discussed yesterday. And in case you didn't know, before every game, a national televised game, the crew meets with the head coach and the quarterback of every team, and sometimes another star player, and they talk about strategy and plays and things to be looking out for as far as the team should be looking out for, the broadcast team.
Right.
And apparently he has wowed them for years with his ability to explain complex plays and sets and just the strategy of the team in layman's terms to the broadcast team.
Listen, and I think they do a really great job of evaluating talent there. I don't really have a connection to CBS, so I have no reason to fluff them any more than just the fact that I'm a fan and I like their broadcast teams. So if they have a good eye for talent, and I feel like they do, and they've seen good things out of him, I mean, who am I to hate? They've sat in those meetings. They've heard him discuss football on an analytical level, and if they feel like he can do it, then good for him.
Yeah. Now, do we know, is Phil Simms moving to to another team, a new partner, or is he leaving CBS completely? That part I don't think I've heard.
That I don't think
I
we've
haven't heard.
We don't know.
So we'll have to see where that goes. But the other part of that, as far as football is concerned, we still don't know now. The Dallas Cowboys were trying to trade Tony Romo, and they ended up having to release him. The Houston Texans and the Denver Broncos still don't have their quarterbacks in place. So there was some buzz, obviously, that Tony Romo might be that answer.
I'm curious as to if this ignites any sort of interest. I'm not saying he definitely signs with the team, but interest for Colin Kaepernick, because and maybe not as a starting quarterback, but as a backup.
I thought you were going to say another quarterback. I think Jay Cutler's ahead of.
Or Jay Cutler. Any of the quarterbacks that are out there.
As long as he puts his pants on. Please don't show up.
I mean, that might have set him back a little bit. You never know. They don't want
Who knows?
butts all over their ID.
Who knows?